So it is hurricane season in Florida, but for over 6 months we haven't had hurricane windows, and there are giant gaps in all of my doors. Last night I came home from New Hampshire and learned what a king tide was because my entire dock was underwater up to the banana tree, and those lounge chairs were all the way down the river. So we've never lived on water before, and we bought this house not in hurricane season. So I just learned about what a king tide is during high tide, during hurricane season, and came home from New Hampshire to our gosh darn $1,200 chairs that your mom had to have that nobody's ever sat in down the river. And now I'm paddling upstream in the wind to bring them back because they disappeared. This is our dock underwater. That's our yard underwater. Those are our chairs underwater. Can you grab this for me? Holy moly, I'm going in. Thank you for the help. I can't believe that. And those boats are all on lifts. Our jet ski dock floated onto our dock. Our hammock's underwater. Our fishing poles are underwater. Our chairs are underwater. This is crazy. So a couple days in, the king tide is still here. I thought tides come in and go out. This one hasn't gone out. It's just gone up and down a little bit on my yard, all the way up to my banana trees. Here's my dock right here. That is one of my neighbor's tubes. I have no idea whose. Here's my dock. And then if you look at my neighbor's dock, theirs is completely submerged too. And then over here, my jet ski last night was up on the grass, and then my neighbor is completely underwater too. Wow. Now, for those of you that are new to this series, I bought a house at auction. It was a foreclosure. There was a previous owner living there that refused to live there. She hadn't paid and been in foreclosure for 6 years. I had to evict her. It took her 4 months of me paying for the home, for everything, while she was living there for free. Finally got her out, but it turned out that she was a hoarder, and the entire house was filled with stuff, boxes, heirlooms. It was like time stood still since 2005. In our last video, we started doing the lawn. We started renovating. I've gotten rid of a lot of things since our last video. And teaser, even our house is finished. For the most part. Because if you look here, that is an exterior door. That is sunlight. And this is paper towels keeping everything in. Yes, I could have done weather stripping, but I was supposed to have had $50,000 worth of windows and doors months and months ago. I've learned a lot about contractors in Florida, who to work with, who not to work with, what red flags to look out for. I've made some great contacts, and I've also been burned several times. I'm at a stalemate with landscaping. It is just awful. I can't put up gutters yet. I can't paint the house yet. And for a car guy, we have very limited parking. I want to do a U-shaped driveway that I can't do yet because I need to have the construction done before we can put down pavers. It is now October, so it has been 10 months that this project has been going on. As you can see, we do live here. In today's video, I'm going to show you the finished product, everything we had to do, and also the scams to look out for with contractors, well, anywhere in the country. 3 days right of rescission, why not to sign your check and leave a deposit right on the spot, how to find the best contractor for you, and then we're gonna live happily ever after at the very end. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Welcome to my series. I don't think I ever named this series. Buying a foreclosure home, kicking out a squatter, moving in, living with my family, moving into water and self-work. I don't know what this is called. Let's get going where the last video kicked off. Now, there are 3 things that I learned that I'm going to share with you in this video. Number 1 is contractors, in-home solicited sales. We're going to get to the painting in a minute. We talked about the AC units and how easy it is for you to clean them, and that $99 is to just get them in the door to upsell you. Well, I have been blown off by Mr. Gucci, Mr. Louis Vuitton for 18 weeks straight, and every one of my projects is put on hold because he just keeps brushing me off. Now, what's crazy is when I signed the agreement, I gave them $10,000 as a down payment. That was over 5 months ago. And what happened when I signed the agreement is it showed up on my phone with really, really small print, and it was about 40 pages long. And he pressured me to sign. Did you sign it yet? Did you sign it yet? We can't get started if you don't sign it yet. And I said, I have to read all this. All of this documentation is ridiculously long. I thought I would just write you a check. You say, yes, this is what we're doing. It's not this simple. They put a lien on my house. There's a lien on my house for windows that haven't been installed yet from 18 weeks ago. And to be honest with you, I have zero patience now. I am not polite with these people anymore. I tell them every week, my contractors are waiting for you, my painters are waiting for you, my landscapers are waiting for you, my pool guys, my tile guys, everybody's waiting on the window company. Write windows and doors, and beware of who you're going with. The point is, so solicitation, you have 3 days. When you're solicited a sale in your home, you have 3 days to kind of calm down and change your mind. And if you don't, after the 3 days, you're locked in. I am locked in because I didn't know it was going to take 6 months to get windows in. So I'm at my city hall. Number one, check this out. That's the view from my city hall. It's on the water. It's amazing. I love this place. And they're usually amazingly friendly. I'm going to figure out what's going on with the permit for the windows. Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I was in a couple days ago and you got me a survey. Okay. I got it like within an hour. So thank you for that. It saved me like $1,000. So I really appreciate it. I have a completely separate question. I'm trying to get new windows on a house. My contractor, I'm 17 weeks now since I signed the paperwork for it. And I wanted to see if a permit has been applied for yet. I've never done this ever. So when you apply for a permit, so like I signed in May, is there...
Let's sign what, the contract?
Well, yeah, the contract with the builder.
Okay.
Is there a process to apply for a permit, or did he just wait that long, do you think? Waited that long. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That was, again, helpful. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you. So he waited 16 weeks to apply for a permit. Cool. I'm going to call him right now.
I'm unable to get your call this time.
Scam number 3, I just started to discuss it, is solicited in your home sales or home solicited sales. So I was thinking it would be easier to paint, resurface the cabinets and put new counters in. So I had an estimate from a painting contractor to just see how much it would cost to paint all the cabinets in the laundry room and in the kitchen, because it would be simple. They'd be in, they'd be out in a few days, and we're done. So instead of spending 50 grand on a kitchen, we're spending 4,500 on paint. Well, everything is high pressure sales. When you get a contractor, like one of my window companies, I legit had to tell the guy to leave. I'm not hiring you today. I'm not signing today. I need to get some proposals. I need to think about it. Please leave. He wouldn't leave my house. I had to call the manager and tell him to leave. He wouldn't leave. So everything is like to get you to sign on the dot today. That is their job. High pressure sales, worse than a car dealership. It was insane to the point where I have to tell people to leave my house. The painting contractor cut a good deal. He said, if you sign it today, we'll do it for this price. So I said, yeah, that's fine. And then after looking at it, we just didn't love the cabinets. We didn't love the crown molding. It still looked dated. My wife came home. She agreed. I called to cancel, and they wouldn't cancel. So I reached out to them that night to cancel everything, and they said, too late, it's too bad, you can't cancel, you sign an agreement. And it was to the point where like he was threatening lawsuits because they give you a today only deal, or if it's off the table, the deal is still on the table, and it will be tomorrow. So don't give in, take your time, do your due diligence, ask the right questions, and then decide when you have 3 proposals. And then I've learned about windows, I've learned about paint, I've learned about kitchen and tile and all kinds of stuff. You know the questions to ask based on what 3 different salesmen tell you, and you can compare all 3 proposals. All right, so let's get into it. Kitchen and bath is where all the value is in a home. I'm gonna give you a sneak preview, but before we do that, let's do a flashback. First day of renovation, look at the progress they've made already. Ready? Watch this. So we're gonna take this wall out, half the counters are gone already, all the cabinets are gone in the kitchen, and then going in here, the bath is completely demoed. So yes, we bought the house in January, and clearly, as you can see Chase decorating, it is October. So he is decorating with skeletons galore, and I am sampling paints. Now here's what's kind of cool. We are in the world of AI, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, right? So here's how I'm coming up with the colors. I downloaded this app on my phone, which is basically artificial intelligence. So on this app, if I do like, let's do exterior redesign, I can upload a photo of my house. So we're going to just take a picture of my house. So I just took this picture of my house. I'm going to upload it to my app, and now I'm going to set structure preservation. AI will balance new design with your building structure, and you can pick what kind of house you want. Like, do I want a house, a villa, a courtyard, a ranch style, an apartment? So we're going to go with house. Do you want it to be modern, minimalistic, farmhouse, luxury, cozy, colonial, zen? Now we are going coastal, so let's see here. Look for something that's kind of beachy. Mediterranean could work. Spain could work. So this house kind of looks Spanish. Let's go with Spain. We're gonna go goldens and beiges. I think that's what my wife wants. So we're going with like browns and whites. So we'll go here. And then as you can see, it's gonna scan my image and then try to create some designs, and Chase is decorating right now. So here's what it looks like before. Printout coming soon. Now this is pretty much the same color we have. I don't love it. We want to go lighter than that, so I can actually regenerate and have it do it again. Now I know she wants like browns and whites, so let's go stone balance and we'll do slate shade next. So it's scanning right now. Printout coming soon. Because again, we don't love this one either. I came up with a few images that we do like. So here's the original image of the house, which is the same as the house behind me. AI with these photos, we went with more of a theme like this. You can see it's like a beigey light white with some brown trim. It matches the roof. It also came up with blue. We didn't like blue, and I really like white, but I don't like the red trim. And then here are the two options that I think we're gonna go with. So I think we're gonna do this. So let's try a sample of this like beigey vanilla or almond color with some browns, which is basically this right here. Different topic for anybody that doesn't know. You can get color samples from Home Depot. These are $6.99. So instead of buying like a quart for 20 or 25 or a gallon for 40 or 50, you can get samples in lots of different colors for $6.99. So you can try it out. So we got the brown and the almond to try out. So a little life hack, save you some time, save you some money. So I'm starting to get pretty effing PO'd. I'm not swearing right now, but it freaking rains every 30 minutes in Florida right now. We're in hurricane season, so it won't stop raining. So I painted, it rained. It dried, I painted, it rained. I can't tell. I want to trim out the brown because I have white windows, and I can't decide if I want to go brown until I have my brown windows in. It might be too much brown, so I just can't. I just don't know because we don't have windows. So the window guy said, "Why don't you paint everything? Why are you waiting on us?" Because I don't know what happens when they remove all these windows. When he removes all these windows after all this is caulked in and trimmed out, he's gonna tear all that out again, and then it's gonna have to be repainted. And I'm pretty darn sure that he's not going to pay the painter to repaint and trim out my house again. What does he care? So I am stuck here trying to figure out what the heck colors we're gonna paint without even knowing what the doors and windows actually look like, which is really frustrating. And we're doing the job twice because we're definitely gonna have to caulk, fix, repair, and paint it again when the windows are done. Again, I have to keep saying this. Keep in mind, we are moving. We're in the process of rebuilding. So this place is a mess and I'm embarrassed to even show it on the internet, but it won't look like this when we're done. I think I'm gonna go brown on the garage door. So white house, brown door to match all the other doors and windows. So I think that's what we're gonna do. This video is about contractors, right? Beware of all the contractors. I actually met a painting contractor in my previous neighborhood. So little trick, in my previous neighborhood was brand new houses. So all the builders, the tile guys, the painters, the carpenters, everyone was a subcontractor for the builder. So everyone, while my entire street was being built, I went and introduced myself, said, hey, I have a project coming up. Can I get your info? So I can hire the subcontractors directly instead of like the window guys. It's 50 grand and they're not installing the windows, they're hiring subcontractors. So they hired a place in Miami to build the windows. They're hiring subcontractors to install the windows. They're just the ones that sold the job and did the measurements for everyone else to get the work. So cut the contractor out and just go directly to the source. Who's doing the work? The subcontractors. So the subs want, I got two quotes, $5,000 to paint the entire house. Washed, sealed, caulked, primed, painted, $5 grand. I'm debating if $5,000 is worth my time. I can do all that in about a week. If I did this myself, I could spray it back, roll it, caulk everything, trim it out in about a week's time. Or I can just pay somebody to do it out of sight, out of mind, and it's done. So I'm kind of torn between the two. I showed you the AI. Check this out. I want to show you the inside too. So there are plenty of apps on your phone that do AI. You insert the photos and it tells you what you should be doing. So I also did it to the interior, which is how we came up with the interior colors. So here's what the living room looked like after we cleaned everything out, kind of. And then here is what it gave me options for. So we know we wanted to go with blues, grays, tans, and whites. It also gave us, here's the kitchen again, here's the kitchen again, and then here are the kitchen options. So here to here. So that's the before, that's an after option. Here's the kitchen, here's an after option. So this is kind of how we got the blues and the whites, and also the design. So here's the living room, here's the living room after. Here's the dining room that I'm sitting in right now, here's the after. Now you can see the app doesn't remove any furniture, it just changes colors and redesigns things. So before, after, and then after again. And then if you don't like it, you can choose a different option. Here's the entranceway, here's the house, the house, the house, and then my other option, which I think this is what we're gonna go for right here. I have two more things I wanna show you in this segment. Number one, if you're ever on TikTok, you might have seen in the TikTok shop, these tiles right here. They come in a box, let me find them. Come in a box like this. So these are the tiles, and they're interlocking, so they lock into place. But you'll notice how flimsy they are. Let me show you something. They're useless. It took my wife and I hours and hours one night to install these in the floor, and they flex. So like as soon as your tire bends on them, they flex and they pull up, so they pull out of shape, they warp. This is ridiculous. We spent $700 on these TikTok shop floors, and they bend and they come up. Like I rolled, you can't roll anything over them. So I rolled my toolbox from the driveway over to here to fit them in, and they all came up. So it's so far back, I can't even change them. All of them warped. I put a kickstand from a motor, look at, that's the golf cart. That's what the golf cart did. See that? It pulled up off the floor. And now when the golf cart moves, this is gonna be gone and warped. So don't believe everything you see in the TikTok shop. I bought these lights, they look cool. It doesn't come with a light switch. You have to plug them into the outlet every time you wanna use it. So nobody says when you're looking at the TikTok shop how cool everything is that you have to plug them in every time. So I got a remote plug. So these plug into that black thing up there. And then I had to get a wireless remote to turn it on and off my lights because it doesn't make any sense. These are the things that when the sale comes first, the truth comes second. All these TikTok influencers that wanna sell you the TikTok shop garbage. It really is garbage. We spent so much time and so much money. I should have just epoxied the floors. It would have been way easier. Not to mention all the dirt traps underneath these. You can't blow it out. You can't wash it. These are awful. I do not recommend them at all. And the idea was supposed to be pretty cool. I'm gonna give you another life hack. So we took out a bunch of trees and now we have some dead spots. And there are dead spots all over the lawn. Now we're gonna get new pavers and a U-shaped driveway. So I don't wanna just do irrigation and new grass all over the place. We are gonna put pavers in here. So I can't put stone in there yet. So in the meantime, if you go to Home Depot or even like your local landscape shop, you can get sod in pieces. So we bought a bunch of sod, and I'm just gonna place them all down in these empty spots because I seeded that and nothing has grown in 3 months of living here. So we're gonna put some sod down and fill in all the empty spots. So here's the before, and there we go. Sod filled in, sod filled in. All the gravestones have sod filled in, and within a week with all this rain, we should be having grass, I think, having grass. And then trash, among boxes, it just keeps going. Boxes never end in this house. So here is the final product of, we're still moving in, so there's still stuff everywhere, but the construction for the most part is done for everything we can do. I mean, there's boxes everywhere, but we did new flooring. Again, everything's coastal themed. The wall is removed, and then we went again with grays. So this weird like wall that was there that had a hole in it and you can watch people shower was strange. So we filled it, put stone, and instead of the tub that took up the entire bathroom, we turned it sideways. So the contractors that helped me out here were amazing. I have a friend, shout out to Adam Mayer from Palm Beach Renovations. They just absolutely crushed it. They made everything so simple for me. They gave me ideas. They got it done in a timely manner. They met my budget. It was phenomenal. Palm Beach Renovations, huge shout out. Now today we get back to throwing things away. I'm gonna tear that pool down. I'm gonna get rid of all the boxes. And then we've already been using water access, which is just so amazing. There's something about having access to the world in your backyard, which is really, really cool. This makes me so happy. And as you can see down here, there's kind of some paint. We painted out our pool. We're gonna have a pool here thanks to my friend from Mandy Manzer Designs. She did an entire layout with travertine patio. This is all gonna be a patio right here. All in all, it's October, just about. We started in January, so it's been 10 months, almost 9 months of work, but I mean, I walked into a crazy amount of equity. I bought a house on the water for under $1 million in South Florida, which is not even a real thing. And it's a beautiful house, and it's gonna be a dream home that brings me to sandbars and the ocean. I can't even believe it. Okay, so the way I started this video is how I'm gonna end this video. I told you I bought a murder condo. Craig, why do you keep saying murder condo? It's morbid. I'm making light of something that's awful. There was an attempted homicide in this condo. I bought it at a foreclosure for back dues to the HOA. We're gonna renovate this in the next series. And yes, I did find a treasure chest and some first edition books, which I think I've shown you in a different video, some marine books, some really cool tchotchkes. So if you like our house series, make sure to subscribe and like these videos because they really make a big difference for us. They really help us out a lot. We're also car content, so in our next series, we're gonna fix up a Jeep Wrangler, we're gonna start a car dealership. We're all over the place. Thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate the support. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Have a great day. Adios.